I know there's a ring from my ring light, but I don't want to figure it out now. And I like this armario, shaft so much. I forgot the English word. Yeah, that's a problem when you learn a lot of languages. Cupboard. Yeah, okay. Let's start with the video. So we booked the tickets already weeks in advance. We paid 86 Singaporean dollars for both of us. That is 67 US dollars and 14 cents. We had to fill out a visa on arrival 3 days before. So the longer you stay, the more expensive it gets. So, and they only sell like one month, 2 months, 3 months, like that. So we paid 30 US dollars 37 cents per person, so that was $60.74 US dollars for both of us for 30 days. After spending 6 weeks with the amazing Lucky and Vasily, here is the video about the animals. We left Singapore on August 2nd, 2025. But we were planning to come back for a day because one package we ordered from Amazon, the fenbendazole, didn't arrive yet. And so we were just going from Singapore to Batam, Indonesia, and that's really just the island right below Singapore. So we thought one day we just take the ferry back to Singapore to pick up the fenbendazole and to meet with Aki and his family, our friends from Reno, Nevada. Well, they actually live in Singapore now, but they were back in Reno, Nevada the entire time we were in Singapore. So we thought, oh yeah, great, so we still get to meet them. In the morning of August 2nd, we packed the rest of our stuff, cleaned the rest of the apartment, pilled Vasily the cat for the last time. Vasily the cat unfortunately has a heart condition and needs pills 2 times a day, in the morning and in the evening. So we did that. Oh, and I took some GABA, like I do basically always on moving days to calm me down. Julie and Alex arrived, and yes, they brought my prescription drugs from the United States to me to Singapore. Again, thank you so much. That was really a huge help. That was really cool, and I was so glad that I got all of the prescription drugs because for some time it looked like that one of them wouldn't make it in time, but it did. So more about that here in this video about Trusted House Sitters, the community. So yeah, that was super nice, super cool. So I could stock up on my meds. Thank you very much. We said our goodbyes, got into a Grab car, and we got driven to the airport. And no, not airport, to the ferry port. And so as soon we got out from the Grab car, we got a message from Julie texting us that, hey, your Amazon package just arrived. We are so fucking lucky with packages. So it arrived right before we left. We were very early for the ferry anyways. So the ferry was leaving at noontime and we were at the ferry port at 9:28 a.m. and boarding wasn't until 11:30. So we had a lot of time. And so we found a place for me to sit with all the luggage. Paul got the ferry tickets and then took a Grab back to the apartment to pick up the fenbendazole. Really cool. So that saved us the trip from Batam going back with the ferry to Singapore. I mean, that's great, but now we really didn't get to see Aki. That was a bit sad, but we could save some money, so it's good, and yeah. So Paul picked up the fenbendazole, took a Grab again, came back to the ferry port, got some food. I went to the toilet, and then we wanted to check in the bags. Oh, I love ferries. No weight limits, no suitcase limits. Doesn't matter if you have your scissors and pocket knife in the carry-on, check-in bag, backpack. I love ferries. So we got to the check-in. Yeah, check-in. So far, we never had a check-in when we took a ferry. Luggage control, yes, but never check-in. You always had all your luggage with you. So, oh well, it is different in Singapore. And shit, only 1 check-in bag per person. We had a Fat Boy, the big check-in bag, and our 2 carry-ons, the twins, the suitcases. We also wanted to check in because we still had our backpacks and probably meal bags and whatever. And of course, there was also a weight limit. And of course, Fat Boy was way too heavy. We had to pay 10 Singaporean dollars. That's US dollars 7.70. Oh yeah, so cheap. I wish it would be that cheap for overweight on airplanes. I mean, 10 Singaporean dollars, $7.70 US dollars, that's fucking nothing. And because we had three and now two bags we wanted to get checked in, we also had to pay an additional 3 Singaporean dollars, 2 American dollars 31 cents. I'm not gonna bitch at all about those prices. Again, I wish airplane overweight prices would be like that. But just to be safe, I put my Swiss Army knife from my meal bag to Fat Boy, because I was like, oh, okay, here we have to check in and pay, and maybe it's more like an airplane, and I don't know. So just to be safe, I did that, but I think it wouldn't have mattered. On ferries, they don't really care where you have your knife. Oh, and Paul already got rid of all our Singaporean dollars, converted them to Indonesian rupiah, and to pay our overweight and extra bag, they wouldn't take cards. So Paul had to go convert some money again to Singaporean dollars to be able to pay the 13 Singaporean dollars. So far, we only took ferries for moving with all our stuff in Europe. And as mentioned, there were never any weight restrictions or restrictions how many bags you can take with you or anything of that. So as mentioned in Singapore, it's totally different. So I'm curious, is that only in Singapore like that? Or is that something that is all over Asia or Southeast Asia that it's restricted? We went through passport control and then waited for the ferry. And a woman came over to me and wanted to do a survey about tourists in Singapore with me. And I said yes, but unfortunately we didn't have enough time to finish it because the ferry arrived and we had to go. The ferry wasn't full at all, so we got great seats. We departed on time at 12:15. The ferry ride took about an hour, and because of the time difference between Singapore and Indonesia, we arrived at the same time when we departed, at 12:15. So kind of cool. But my clock on the phone didn't change until we get to the Airbnb. So look at this picture taken at 16:20, like you can see here. But when I took the snapshot of the picture on my phone, it was 15:36. So it wasn't even 16:20 yet. So it was like, yeah, kind of funny. We went through customs without any problems, and Paul gave a guy that was working there the receipt from our checked-in luggage, and he went and got our luggage. We went to a restaurant where Paul ate and drank something. Nasi dan ayam goreng, rice with fried chicken. I already learned so much Indonesian on Duolingo. Yeah, I actually started to learn Indonesian on Duolingo 6 weeks before we got to Indonesia. We had to wait until 3 p.m. for the check-in for the Airbnb, but we were lucky. Already at 12:15, Paul got a message that, hey, the apartment is ready and we can check in whenever. Really cool. Before we left the ferryport building, Paul pointed out a Chinese store to me. So I actually, still in Singapore, I wanted to buy more of the dried scallops. I already bought some at the hawker stand, at one of the hawker stands, but when I wanted to buy more, she was out of them. Well, she still had some other dried scallops, but they were really high quality and they were much more expensive, and I didn't want to spend the money. A little jar, like for 30 Singaporean dollars, 23 US dollars 10, no thanks. So in Batam, Indonesia, in the ferryport building, Paul pointed out that Chinese store and he said, oh, maybe they have that. So I went over there to check it out. Oh my gosh, they had so many fish chips. Oh, and also not just fish, also lobster, and I think even shrimp, so like seafood chips. They looked so good, but none of them were clean. For me, clean means just maybe also salt and like dried or fried in animal fat. But no, I could read on the back, they all had like some cooking oil, whatever that is, some vegetable oil probably. A lot of them also had flour, a huge no-go for me. So, but sad, there were so many, it was so interesting. They also had many dried fish fins and dried sea cucumbers and other stuff, but those packages didn't have a sticker, so I couldn't see the ingredients, and I just, so I had no idea what was really in it, how it was made and stuff, so I didn't get any of that. But in a refrigerator, I found dried scallops and just dried scallops, but not really dried, so because that's why they were in the refrigerated when they're really dry, but then they're much more expensive and they're not in the fridge anymore. But so I found a package there, 250 grams for 275,000 Indonesian rupiah, of course. That's like $16.79 US dollars. And I think that's about the same price we paid for the ones at the hawker market in Singapore. There I got like a little bag for $6.20. Yeah, so it was like the same price. So I bought that bag. But unfortunately, those dried scallops, or like semi-dried scallops, weren't as good. I shouldn't have bought them. Anyways, after that little purchase, we went to the Marriott Hotel to get a Grab. We paid about $6 or $7 US dollars for that ride to the Airbnb. That took about 30 minutes. We got a premium car for all our luggage. We were to stay 25 days in an apartment on the 25th floor in the Auslesen Tower in the Meisterstadt community. I think it's funny, Auslesen, Meisterstadt, these are all German words. And so our adventures continue. From Reno, Nevada, the USA, to Turkey, to Serbia, to Montenegro, to Croatia, to Albania, to Slovenia, to Hungary, to Switzerland, back to Turkey, to the Philippines, to Thailand, to Malaysia, to Singapore, and to Indonesia, and many more will follow. Stay happy, stay healthy.